Alright, I guess I'll do a part 3 because I have some other things I need to remember when I do this again. I mentioned this before. This is actually my spare axle assembly that I use for doing stuff like this because for whatever reason, the first time I always mess something up. And the second time I try to fix those things, and then the third time actually I get it relatively correct. Third time's a charm. But that's actually the axle assembly that is the end game for me. This has got floating axles in it, and it's all kinds of fancy. But I didn't want to use it on the first try, so that's why, aka the spare axle assembly. So I need to make some notes to myself how this turned out. I don't think anyone else is going to find it interesting or useful. However, so the brackets for the radius arms look like this, and we just cut those out on the plasma robot there. And then I just bend them up in the vise and weld them. So a couple things that worked out, a couple things that may have not worked out, changed up how I do this next time. So for whatever reason, hey Lord Great Commander, what's up? Okay. Most people have a shop dog, I have a shop cat. So we're looking down, you can see it ended up canted just a little teeny bit. Not enough to really make a huge difference, but it did. Both of them were consistent, however, which makes me happy. From the outside edge to the wheel mounting surface, they were 35 centimeters or 350 millimeters. What's up, dude? Yeah? Okay. They were 350 millimeters. And I didn't actually measure that, but that ended up to be true. So for whatever reason, this corner of the bracket pointing forward ended up a little bit up. And I don't know why. And they're both consistent. They both ended up exactly the same. So I don't know if the axle assembly potentially, I might have to make an allowance for that. I'll see if I can try to figure that out before I do the next axle assembly. After studying all of the pictures of Prados and radius arms, the mounting brackets, at least on the rear of the older Toyotas, they also, that original, this bracket up here, right, is your main one. They do not, I put some kind of like weld washers in here just because it makes that a little bit thicker, and as you can see, my plasma robot is pretty accurate, pretty nice, right? But usually they'll be just a little, especially, I don't know, I've played with lead in and lead out radius cutting, and I can get them pretty good, but for some reason my circles still, irregardless of whatever I put, as that, I always get a little mark in it. So, we cut out a little guy, and these ones are burned in. And so what the idea is this is a plug weld up here, and it's kind of like a yokey kind of thing to secure this side. Because I know, buddy, what's up? Are there no mice to catch this morning? Yeah. Who's a good kitty? So, I know. So the idea is that these guys get plug pet the damn cat. Plug welded in up on the bracket and then burnt in around here, and then strengthen that because it's pretty much impossible to get in here to weld that on the inside face of this guy. Now I'm wondering, and I'm going to try this on this next one. The way the Toyota Prados are done, or they're both on the outside, like this one is. And this worked okay, and I think this bracket is, let's say, substantially attached to the axle assembly. I'm not really worried about it coming off. My welding skills are not awesome. I'm not a dime dropper, but I get good penetration, and I think they're functional. They're definitely not as nice as the Toyota robot welding machines, but I'm not a robot. Not yet, anyways. So I think, fortunately, so first thing, my tack weld's got a little bit far, so I can't quite get this. So I'm gonna have to grind just a little bit of that tack weld. Don't do that again, dummy. Okay. The other thing is, I think there's no way. Steady. There's no way I'm gonna get on the bottom side. This side's not a problem to do the plug weld and get it attached, but it's not gonna happen on the other side. So I think the weld washers are probably a good idea. I think I can go with this guy on the inside. He'll be a little bit easier to attach, and it shouldn't interfere because I put the 3.33 millimeter spacer. Should give me a little bit extra, so that's gonna work out good. So I think production one, we're gonna go on the inside of the inside, and the outside of the outside should be doable on both sides. The other thing that's a little bit of concern is these nuts when assembly, get a little bit close to stuff, and let's swing this guy down. I don't know that there's a solution to it. Oh, scratch your. So when this is pretty close. So during assembly, you're definitely going to have to put a bolt through here, hold this nut up, and it gets screwed in. Also, I don't know why this happened, but the tail of this guy, I must have banged him or something, and he got bent out. These are fairly flexy, so not a huge deal. They'll bend when I crank this down. Not too worried about that. I probably can bend them back a little bit. Not a big deal. And actually, when you put the arms in here, there's been a lot of times where I bent the stock Toyota ones back out to be able to get new arms in and stuff like that. So probably not a huge deal. I guess I'll shoot another one a little bit. I had a couple of questions on the forums, and somebody asked here a little bit about the fuel tank. So I'll shoot one for that too, but I just wanted to get my notes down so that I remembered some of the ins and outs. And I didn't have any trouble with the arms or with the arm brackets. They were pretty straightforward. So do that next time. And also don't forget, I did grind these guys down. That clearance now is not too much of an issue. I think the entire axle assembly could probably go ahead about 5 millimeters. And that would probably alleviate that issue, but seemed like I'm always about 5 millimeters off. Okay, that's good for this one.